This is the Watchman giving a clarion call. And today I want to take a look at silver and gold from a bird's eye view. Now, first I want to do an overview of precious metals from a demand perspective. And finally, I want to talk about the recent price movements and flesh out how I see things possibly playing out in the very near term. So first things first, let's talk investment demand. After all, we're amazingly already through one full quarter of 2016. I can't believe it either, but it's true. Now, here's some good charts for some major mints around the world. Firstly, let's look at the premier government mint of Australia, the Perth Mint. The Perth Mint's had some very strange habits of hiring certain folks to represent them who are constantly downplaying or even trashing their own products, gold and silver. Now, having said that, folks, the Perth Mint does have a good reputation. I do like their coins because of the quality of many of their coins are really second to none. They do make aesthetically beautiful coins. All right, and one of the coins that stackers have been so excited about lately is the fairly new coin that Perth launched late last year, their bullion silver coin, the silver kangaroo. Perth's answer basically to the silver eagle and the maple has been the kangaroo, and it's proven very popular. It's helped catapult their previous lackluster silver sales to a very respectable plateau. Now, here's a monthly sales chart of Perth monthly silver sales, and as you can see, once they introduced the kangaroo in September of last year, it really bumped their silver sales to a whole new level. In fact, ever since September, they've sold over 1 million ounces of silver coins every single month, sometimes much higher. Last month was particularly strong, though. Here's a quote from smallgold.com, which notes the uptick in sales. Quote, the Perth Mint sold 1.756 million ounces of silver in March of 2016, up 175% from the 638,000 ounces sold in March of 2015. Silver sales in March 2016 were up 67.4% from February 2016 sales of 1,050,000 coins, roughly, end quote. Now, why has such a spike in sales occurred? Well, I think it's partly due to stackers stepping in harder to buy on price dips. I think stackers are getting better at buying tepidly on price rises and waiting for things like options expiry, waiting for things like the ridiculous short position on the COMEX getting very, very tenuous before they step in and buy more heavily. And I think that helps explain why Perth sales are literally at the strongest points ever. So that's the Perth Mint. Then there's the U.S. Mint, which is also racking up the silver sales like gangbusters. I mean, if you take a look at this next great chart from Small Gold here, this is a quarterly U.S. Mint silver chart. It's quite impressive. The U.S. Mint just broke another record. This time, it's a quarterly record by selling almost 15 million ounces of Silver Eagle coins in just 3 months. That's unreal. To put this in proper historical perspective, the U.S. Mint has sold more coins in just 3 months than it did in the entire sales years of 1986 through 2007. The last 3 months outdid the annual pace of the first 20 years of the Silver Eagle program. Boom. And this is 23% higher through March than we saw this time last year. And remember, last year was a record year of roughly 47 million Silver Eagles being sold. What this means is that even if this pace could be kept up throughout the entire year, we'd see as many as 57 million Silver Eagles sold. That is phenomenal. And the really interesting thing, though, is that despite these record sales on Eagles, the premiums have remained near rock bottom. All right, and this suggests to me that during that time off in December and in the final months of 2015, the U.S. Mint ordered mind-numbing quantities of planchettes. Okay, mind-numbing quantities. Remember, the silver coin shortage that happened last year, that was roughly 2-3 months long. That was unfortunate for the banksters and for these mints because it put silver front and center on mainstream news. Okay, and that's the last thing these people want is for silver to be front page news. It must not make the news. It must not be in the forefront of mass consciousness out there so that they won't even think about buying any silver at all. Okay? They want to keep silver under the radar. So silver sales remain extraordinarily strong, and that's good. It's excellent. But the second part of what I want to speak to is in regards to the immediate silver price concerns that I have. Because there's been a lot of voices lately stating they believe a huge price breakout is in the cards, upward. Now, perhaps those voices are right, and the long-term trend line will break, and the MACD crossover that just happened a few weeks ago will finally mean something. But I want to say this, though. While I think that the cabal's position in the rigging scheme is getting very, very tenuous, and I said so in my last video, I want to caution my shield brothers out there. I didn't call a price bottom in that last video, and I still don't call it today. I've never called a price bottom because I've never been convinced yet that we have seen one. Well, wait a second, Watchman. The price bottom in silver was roughly $13.60. Are you saying you're not convinced that we can't go lower? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Now remember this, the banksters are still trying to paint the bogus deflationary meme out there. And even Mike Maloney, a man who believes we'll eventually see $1,500 silver prices per ounce, has said that we could, in his estimation, in his mind, hit single digits first. He called months ago for an extreme silver to gold ratio in the coming days of up to 100 to 1. 100 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. And honestly, if you look at the GSR right now, it's currently the highest in years at over 80 to 1. That's an incredible value. So even if we go lower from here, if you're buying silver by the bushel basket here and very little gold, you're still getting a lifetime deal. You're still getting a steal of a lifetime. Okay, that's high. But in an extreme panic fire sale of all assets, in extreme global panic, the likes of which we haven't seen since 2008, could we see those numbers? Could we see 100 to 1? I think it is possible, brothers, if, and this is a huge if they have enough silver on hand to deliver to India and all stackers and Fortune 500 companies everywhere, if they have enough silver, they can briefly do that. Now, I want to also say this, that if they do that, if that's in the cards, if that's the plan, and they can pull it off, we would see the most ridiculous, violent price snapback afterwards in history. It will make 1979 and 1980 look remarkably tame by comparison, because it would result in the biggest short squeeze in history. It would result in the first wholesale silver bar shortage in history. No one has ever seen that. When it happens, it will be too late for anyone to do anything about it, and the opportunity will be gone. Okay, look, I've always been honest with our Shield Brother community, and it's why I have perhaps any credibility on these things at all. It's true that last month's options expiry is done, but much of the extreme short position has not been worked off yet, and price action to me, honestly, has me a little concerned. In fact, several weeks ago, I sold off what few silver mining stocks I owned. Okay, and how could I not? I mean, we'd shot up 60% in mining equities from the bottom that we saw in January. In 8 weeks, mining stocks were up over 60%, and some of them even doubled in 2 months. Okay, now those kinds of paper gains you cannot ignore. Okay, I recoupled all short-term losses and then some, and I'm neutral currently on those funny money paper bets. Okay, that's just a side thing that I do. But and maybe that was the wrong move. Maybe I'll miss the big move up. And believe me, I'll be happy to be wrong. If I'm wrong, that's fine. I'll be fine if that happens. Why? Because my silver stack remains. I've not sold a single ounce and intend to add more silver ounces here very shortly. That's the beauty of silver. It takes hard work to sell it. You can't just click on your mouse, click on a sell button normally, and part with your stash. Physical silver forces you to work hard. To mail it, to haul it down to a coin shop or the post office box and mail it. So it forces you to be patient. It forces you to be disciplined. That's what's great about it. Maybe those guys calling for higher prices are right. I'd be happy to see that. Maybe the 5-year downtrend that they've painted is done. But, brothers, you must be balanced because maybe it's not done. And if the MACD crossover fails here, it will fail hard. It will be painted as a false breakout, and it will result in a significant downside move. Time will tell, nothing else. Okay, and I would not personally get excited about silver's upside action until we at least see $18 silver being broken again, and perhaps even $22 silver. Until then, I hope you'll continue to be balanced. I hope you'll continue to be calm and that you will bring the fight to them. I hope that you will bring down your stacking on these banksters like Thor's hammer. The Perth and U.S. Mint sale numbers reveal what's important. The stacking armies are remaining focused and honed on the prize. Do not sweat whatever plans these people have, whether it's $8 silver or 80 next. Do not sweat it. You must continue to make sure that if they do intend to take silver down again, these people will pay dearly for it. That is our job. And that's easy if you keep the right mindset. Do not pay attention to the fluctuations. Be based and keep stacking as you have for years. Our time is coming. It is coming soon. But watch the next few weeks for clues. And do what you do fearlessly because our time is coming very, very shortly. This is the Watchman signing out. Stay vigilant and bring the fight to them.